The wind is a razor. It cuts the valley, shaving frost from the dark pines and scouring the last memories of warmth from the earth. For the tall ones, the newcomers, it is a season of quiet desperation. The reindeer have vanished, chasing mosses and lichens into the teeth of the encroaching ice. The fleet-footed horses are ghosts on a distant horizon. Hunger is no longer a visitor, it is a member of the clan. A cold weight in the belly of every adult. A silent cry in the eyes of the young. On the ridge, a woman named Othar watches. Her people call her the Farseer. Not for any magic, but for the way she reads the land. A skill that feels useless now. The landscape is a blank page. Her hands, long-fingered and stained with ochre, clutch his spear thrower, its surface polished smooth by a generation of hope. The flint points, Herkin Nap are marvels of the Ayuri-Nakdian mind, long, slender, lethally efficient, but they are made for a world that is no longer there. They are not alone in their starvation. Down in the sheltered basin, another family endures. Their own blood, shorter, broader, with a strength that seems to spring from the bedrock itself. For weeks, the two groups have watched one another. Two different answers to the question of survival, both now failing. These early humans have their own traditions, their own ghosts. Their tools are different, heavier. Eye hunter, a bull of a male with a heavy brown pale eyes, sharpens a massive flake of flint. It is the classic point of the Moustarian way, a brutal, practical tool designed for the close, bloody work of an ambush. But there is nothing left to ambush. The world has grown too big, too empty. His family, no more than 7 of them left, huddles near a smoky fire. Their silence as profound as the cold. This is the brutal reality of prehistoric life. Intelligence and strength are no guarantee against a changing world. The decision is not made with words. There is no shared language between them. Only the universal grammar of a hollow stomach and the sight of a child shivering. Osora descends from her ridge, 2 of her best hunters flanking her. Their movements slow, deliberate, their hands open to show they carry tools, not weapons. They stop at the edge of the basin. The heavy-browed male rises, his clan behind him, his own massive spear held loosely. The air crackles with a tension 40,000 years in the making. This is a moment that will be lost to time, a footnote in hominid history written in the snow. Osara does not look at the male. She looks past him, to the north, where the grey sky meets the grey horizon. Lem, with one lone arm, she points. It is a gesture of pure, desperate calculus. Out there, somewhere, is the only source of life left on this frozen continent, the great herds. The mountains of meat, the Pleistocene megafauna. She is offering a covenant of bone and breath, a trade. Her clan's strategy for their clan's strength. The Neanderthal glances at his own kin, then back at her. He gives a single, sharp nod. The chisel has found its hammer. The hunt is a growling. Today conversation with the land. The Sapiens are the chisel. They do not attack the herd of prehistoric animals directly. They are artists of attrition, ghosts of persistence. They are whispers on the wind, a pressure felt but rarely seen. They use the outlet, a tool of leveraged genius, to fling darts from a distance. The flint points are small, not designed for a killing blow, but to sting, to annoy, to channel the herd's fear. They harry the flanks of the colossal beasts, creating a persistent, gnawing anxiety. It is a masterpiece of strategy, a testament to the foresight that is the hallmark of their branch of human evolution. They are patiently, relentlessly carving the herd's path, steering them mile by agonizing mile towards a destiny the mammoths cannot comprehend. This is a display of survival skills honed over millennia, a subtle dance of intellect against brute force. Down in a narrow, slick ravine, the Neanderthals are the hammer. Kale and his family have spent a day reinforcing the rockfall that narrows the passage, wedging sharpened logs into the frozen earth. A crude, but brutally effective application of ancient tools. They are a part of the landscape. Their broad, powerful bodies built for the explosive bursts of energy this moment will demand. The earth
At
trembles
last,
long before
they
the first
collapse
mammoth
on the
appears.
grassy bank.
Kale feels it in his bones. A familiar thunder. The air grows thick with the musk of panicked beasts. This is the world of Hominid Neanderthal ancestral. Violent and intimate. They do not wait for the perfect moment. They create it. As the first of the great beasts slumbers into the choke point, Kale gives a guttural roar. His family erupts from behind rock and snowdrift. Their heavy spears driven by the full force of their powerful torsos. The plan is working. Chaos and violence fill the ravine. But the world is never so clean. A young bull, wounded and enraged, breaks from the killing ground. It crashes sideways, shattering their carefully laid barriers, and thunders towards a young Sapiens hunter Osa's brother who has moved too close to block the escape. The boy is frozen, his slender spear useless against the charge. The hammer is about to strike the chisel. Survival is selfish. The cold logic of this world dictates Kale should let him die. The boy is not his kin, not his blood. Yet, in that splinter of a second, something else takes hold, an impulse that defies a million years of separate paths. Kale, seeing the boy's fate, abandons his own secure position. He bellows a challenge and lunges, not at the mammoth's heart, but at its massive head, driving his spear near its eye. It is a suicidal act of distraction. The mammoth shrieks, tossing its great head, and a tusk catches Kale, throwing him against the rock wall with a sickening crack. But it is enough. The boy scrambles away, alive. The great bull, disoriented and wounded, is finally brought down by a volley of darts. A hard choice was made, and a life was traded for a life. The unspoken covenant is now sealed in blood. The work is immense. A red ruin in the snow. Butchering the mammoth is a different kind of battle, one of endurance and precision. Here, the synthesis of the two clans is absolute. The fine, long blades of the Homo sapiens make quick work of slicing meat from the bone. Their hands nimble and quick. The heavy, broad scrapers of the Neanderthals are perfect for cleaning the massive hide, their powerful shoulders and arms working with a steady, relentless rhythm. They move around the carcass in a silent, practiced dance, a glimpse into a world that might have been, a world of combined strengths, a single human family tree with two mighty, thriving branches. But this is not that world. This is the twilight of an age. Kale lies near the fire, his leg crudely splintered with mammoth rib. Osara approaches, not as a leader, but as a healer. She cleans his wound, a deep, ragged gash in his thigh, with melted snow and herbs. Then she takes a small leather pouch and powders the wound with a fine, red dust. It is ochre, a sacred earth that for her people represents blood, and fire, and life. To the Neanderthals, it is just colored dirt, but Kale does not resist. He watches her with his pale, unblinking eyes, a flicker of understanding passing between two kinds of ancient humans who have shared a moment of profound, violent intimacy. His altruism has been met with her care, a transaction that has no name in the deep annals of prehistory. The feast is a roar of life against the silence of the ice. Fat drips and sizzles in the fire. The smell of prey answered. The children, Sapiens and Neanderthal alike, gorge themselves. Their bellies fall for the first time in memory. But even here, in this moment of shared triumph, the divergence is clear. Osa's people talk. They gesture, their voices rising and falling as they plan the days ahead. The smoking of the meat, the turning of the hide, the preservation of the bones for tools and shelter. Their minds are already in the future. Kale's family is quiet. They eat what they do, focused intensity, their world compressed into the warmth of the fire and the taste of the meat. They are rooted entirely in the now, to truly grasp the weight of this shared meal. You must join us. Become a fellow chronicler. Reach into the cold earth of the past and feel the echoes of this fire on your own skin. This is the only way to truly bear witness. As the fires burn low, Osara looks from the face of her own child, his eyes bright with tomorrow, to the face of the lone Neanderthal child. whose eyes reflect only the flames. She sees it with a terrible, piercing clarity. This victory is not a shared dawn. For her people, this meat is fuel for a long journey forward. For the old blood, it is merely a last, great feast of ghosts. Their shared epic is over. Their hominid history has reached its final, divergent chapter. When the meat is divided, there are no ceremonies. A simple nod passes between Osara and the wounded Kale. His family takes their share and retreats to their own shelter, the shadows swallowed by other shadows. One fire burns to greet the dawn. The other simply holds back the night. The morning reveals the sets of tracks leading away from the butchering site. Diverging across the snow, one path is wide, confident, heading toward the open plains. The other is smaller, slower, turning back toward the deeper valleys, toward the caves that have been home for 100,000 years. They will not meet again. This cooperation was not a beginning, but an indefinable, functional handshake between two humanities before one faded into the genetic river of the other, and into myth. The intelligence of the Sapiens and the resilience of the Neanderthal were not opposing forces. They were simply different answers to the same relentless question of survival. In this single, forgotten hunt, we see the blueprint of our own complex nature, the capacity for strategic foresight intertwined with a deep-seated impulse for selfless action. Their struggle is the bedrock of our own instincts, a silent echo in our DNA that asks the same question they faced in the biting wind when the long cold comes. Do we face it alone, or do we dare to trust the stranger by our side? The chronicle of the past is never dead. It is not even past. It is the silent, observing elder at every fire we will ever build. What does a species remember when it becomes the only one of its kind left?